Louisville Motor Speedway is Dean Taylor along with Barry Boone from Kentucky Motor Speedway near Owensboro, Kentucky. Hello everyone, I'm Frank Scott, the voice of Louisville Motor Speedway for the beginning of a new era in motorsports as the Midwest Racing Association takes its first event to Louisville Motor Speedway for the 50-lap contest here on the Derby Eve Shootout, the eve of the Derby. And I'll tell you what, Dean Taylor, it will be somewhat of a Derby here this evening as well.
Undoubtedly, because the Derby always brings to mind the best of the best in horse racing. Well, that's what we've accumulated here this evening, the best of the best in the Kentuckiana region, as they all shoot it out for the crown as who is going to be the best driver in this area.
Well, I tell you what, and this will be a determination made not only at Louisville Speedway, where we'll see them run 4 events, but the other 8 events run at other tracks. Field gets double stacked down in turns 3 and 4. We'll go to Barry Boone here in just a few moments after the start of the event. As they lead them out of turn number 4, it'll be Steve Webb of Jeffersonville, Indiana, who's done so well here at Louisville Motor Speedway, especially in the Bluegrass 300. As they lead them down the back straightaway, car number 05, Larry Metters, has not gotten his 1993 racing season off to the best of starts, but tonight he plans to turn it all around. Earlier he was tonight's fastest qualifier. Right now he runs in second on the field. Pete Gardner down on the inside of Metters battling for second. And it looks like Gardner, who has been super successful in 93 so far, may take that position away. It's Steve Webb of Jeffersonville, Indiana, leading lap number 1, driving car number 1, Barry Boone.
Joe Williamson moves into the third position now, out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Along behind him is Larry Metters in the 05 as Metters continues to slip. He is in the high groove and is very slick in the high groove this evening. Larry Metters loses another spot now as the number 12, Preston Ford out of Louisville, Kentucky, continues to apply the pressure there.
Indeed, Taylor, you know the Larry Metters group has to maybe be second-guessing their setup. After earlier laying down the fast time, the car continues to slide backwards through the field. He is back to about fifth place now.
Well, these guys have been chasing bucks. In fact, I talked to one of the crew members earlier tonight. They said that they had went to a bunch of high-dollar parts and everything, but they decided to go back to basics this week. They got rid of all those high-dollar parts, and they're going to try what they tried last year, which, as you and I know, was so very successful.
Okay, 5 laps into this event, it'll be Steve Webb of Jeffersonville, Indiana. He'll bring the John Jones GM City B&J Heating and Cooling Racing Chevrolet across the start finish line. Running at second is Keith Gardner, 2-time Louisville Motor Speedway track champion, running at second. And then going third, of course, Gardner driving the Barley Ford Thunderbird. Then going third, it's the Copiers Plus Racing Chevrolet of Joe Williamson Sr. as they move down the front straightaway. You got a comment?
Excellent battle for 14th to 15th position now as Todd Robinson in the 15 and Ron Phillips in number 39 go door to door. That is a heated battle. Those two have been locked in battle all night long. Phillips winner of 2 events earlier this evening in the inaugural running of the Midwest Racing Shootout.
Okay, there's a possible caution flag, Dean Taylor. Looks like Fred Williams has got a problem over at turn 2.
95 and Fred Williams, something wrong with his car. He has come to rest alongside the wall there in turn number 2, and he does come out of your race leader, Bill Webb, on lap number 9. Also out in the event, the 00 Dean Donahoe has already pulled back into the pit as he experienced trouble early this evening.
Caution flag flies at lap number 9 in the Midwest Racing Association Cellmates Derby Eve Shootout 50-lap contest here tonight from Louisville Motor Speedway. Caution flag coming out for a stalled car over in turn number 2, and that of Fred Williams in car number 95. A new promotional program here at Louisville Motor Speedway during the 1993 racing season, as the Kentucky Lottery will award $1,000 to the first driver to win 4 feature events here at Louisville Motor Speedway. Keith Gardner has already won 2 so far this year, and he could add towards his title of the Kentucky Lottery first to win 4 bonus here at Louisville Motor Speedway. Barry Boone from Kentucky.
Situation. 9 laps are officially down in the books. Bill Webb is leading this in car number 1. Keith Gardner is sitting there on the outside of the front row as they come out of turn number 4, and David Geiger looks him over and back underway.
Okay, that's the situation Larry Metters was in at the start of the race on the outside lane. We'll find out if Gardner can make it work for him like it didn't work for Metters. Metters, incidentally, is having a good run. He's back up to 4th place as he continues to run side by side with Preston Ford. Steve Webb breaks free from the pack to lead lap number 10 as they move back into turns 1 and 2. Gardner now is challenged along on the inside by the number 11 of Joe Williamson as they move down the back straightaway. Barry Boone.
Thank you, Frank Scott. We have to keep an eye now on the number 4 of Roland Isaacs. Isaacs in the 93 Regal Grand Sport was very loose earlier in heat race his competition, but they've obviously made some changes to that car, and he now has worked himself up into the 6th position and looks really good in this event.
Okay, Keith Gardner not handling so well on the outside, Dean Taylor, and it looks like he may give up the 2nd place position to Joe Williamson as they move into turns 1 and 2.
Coming out of the chute in turn 2, down the back straightaway. Williams with the advantage for the moment. Going into turn number 3, Gardner pulls it up alongside. They're door handle to door handle. Coming out of the chute in turn 4, back across the start finish line. Get the bumper advantage to Joe Williamson in the Copiers Plus late model.
Meanwhile, all this battling for 2nd place is letting one thing happen, and that's Steve Webb of Jeffersonville, Indiana, to continue to slip away. He's opened up a 10-car length advantage over 2nd place running Joe Williamson. He's across the start finish line, and Keith Gardner has to be thinking about one thing, and that's getting back down on that inside groove. But he'll find Larry Metters and Joe Williamson will be some traffic to contend with.
Well, I was about to say the same thing. I think you pointed out earlier, Frank Scott, that we had 11 track champions in this event. And certainly the Webb machine, that's one of our past track champions. And you have to give a call to the 05 of Larry Metters out of Louisville, Kentucky, in that Outer Limits Chevrolet, as he is doing an excellent job. He's holding on to that low groove, and he's right there contesting for that 2nd, 3rd position. Look for him to come to the very front in this event.
All right, 16 laps are away in this race. Bill Webb has worked his way out to a commanding lead. Calling about 10 car lengths as he comes across the start finish line. Joe Williamson now has sole possession of 2nd place, as Larry Metters is relegated to 3rd. He's got a bumper full of Keith Gardner, though, as they head down the back straightaway. Gardner's going to try him on the outside as they go into turn number 3 and out of turn 4. It's going to be close.
I think Metters thought that Gardner was just going to file in behind him. Instead, Gardner continues to hang on the outside and wants to take that 3rd place spot away from Larry Metters. Right now, Preston Ford running car number 12, the St. Matthews Import Gas Muffler Shop and Pennzoil Racing Chevrolet, is continuing to run in 5th place and appears to be challenging Gardner for 4th. Don't leave out the Golden Arches, the McDonald's Restaurant Chevrolet of Chuck Winters. He's right there at 6th place.
How can you leave anybody out that's picked up 31 career feature wins here at the Louisville Speedway?
Trouble up in turns 3 and 4. It's Lenny LeGrand. Minor contact with the outside retaining wall near the pit entrance and exit gate at lap number 20. We could go caution this time around, as David Geiger certainly does put the yellow flag out. So the yellow flag flies here at Louisville Motor Speedway after 21 laps of competition. Lenny LeGrand got up into the marbles, much like Bill Kimmel Jr. did last week. Got caught up in the marbles, up into the debris up high in the turn, grabbed the outside retaining wall, sort of a moderate hit, and right now Lenny is still sitting inside the car up in turn number 4.
So we'll continue to monitor our racing channel here on the inter-track frequency to see if everything is okay down there on Lenny's machine. The 2nd caution of the race is out right now, and we understand that he is okay. We've heard that word from our LMS racing officials. So there's 21 laps down in this 50-lap event, the inaugural race for the Midwestern Racing Association. It's going to be happening quite a bit this season. In fact, this is our first race. Our next event will be coming your way on a Saturday night, May 22nd, right here at the Louisville Speedway. Then we'll head to the high banks of Salem, Indiana. Yes, the historic Salem Speedway on Wednesday, May 26th, for the 3rd race in this series. Then down to the Kentucky Motor Speedway on Sunday, May 30th, as we continue the Midwest Racing Association series as they drive through the 1993 racing season.
Okay, so 21 laps in the books here at Louisville Motor Speedway, approaching the halfway mark of this first Midwest Racing Association 50-lap contest, as right now our record service is pulling away car number 6060, Maximum Health and Nutrition Racing Chevrolet of Lenny LeGrand. Incidentally, Lenny was uninjured in that accident down in the 3rd and 4th turn. It involved no other cars, and so this field will be getting lined back up right now.
Okay, we continue under caution here, 21 laps away, as we said. For our radio audience, we remind you that earlier this evening we had our Winston Martin Landscaping Sportsman feature, and the gentleman who has run 2nd 2 years in a row with the points chase brought his Copiers Plus Able Auto Parts, Pipe Fitters 522, Burgers Automotive Racing Camaro home to Victory Lane. Joe Williamson Jr. taking home the win in tonight's Winston Martin Landscaping Sportsman feature.
Okay. So the field gets lined back up here on the front straightaway. The LMS track officials.
We got to get a mic too.
And the scoring right now is getting the cars lined back up here on the front straightaway as they roll down into turns 1 and 2 in single file.
He thinks he can take that off that speaker. I don't know. Wait, want to try it?
All right, Frank Scott. So tell you what, while we got a break in action here, let's go ahead and take this radio timeout on our WTMT feature race of the evening.
Once again, car number 66, Lenny LeGrand, was involved in that accident. Barry Boone had a chance to catch up with Lenny a little bit earlier here this evening, and we got a few comments from him.
Definitely with Steve manning the wheel.
Well, Steve put it on the pole for the Bluegrass 300 last year and wound up in 3rd place in that event, so he knows what he's doing. Except he's going to have to take them around one more time before they get started.
Indeed they will, as Joe Williamson comes a little bit wide out of the chute in turn 4, so we'll let him realign it down the back straightaway and give him some time to think about it. We're 21 laps down in this 50-lap event. Again, it is Steve Webb and Joe Williamson there on the front row. Larry Metters back in row 2. As they wind it up into turn number 3, Preston Ford to the outside of Larry Metters as they come to David Geiger and the 3
Well, I tell you what, tough break for Preston Ford. He didn't get his RPMs up down in turn 3 and 4 and really fell behind there and actually held the whole outside lane up there except for maybe the 1st or 2nd row. Fields out of turn number 4, very good.
Well, one thing we need to remind Preston Ford of is that this race is not quite halfway over. So though he is in the 6th position, right now he's got plenty of time to make his way back up through that field to that number 1 spot.
Okay, they come single file out of turn number 4. It's Joe Williamson. He has the lead in car number 11. Car number 1, Steve Webb now runs in 2nd. Going 3rd is Larry Metters, although I'm sure Gardner has enough car to get up on him there as they move down into turns 3 and 4. Gardner is pounding away for 3rd place as they come out of turn number 4.
He wants it bad. He's going to try him again on the inside as they head on through turns 1 and 2. Gardner pulls up alongside Metters, but Metters just too tough for him at the moment. They're going to try it again, heading off into turns 3 and 4. Williamson is out in front. Webb is running 2nd, and it's too close to call between Metters and Gardner as they come across for lap number 25.
Les Bones, rookie in this division, having a problem over turn number 2. He is pulled down to the infield. Got to give a call now to Rick Irwin in car number 90. The banquet table buffet racing Camaro has shuffled himself from way back in the middle of the pack to run with Preston Ford now, where it looks to be at 6th place spot on the field. So Irwin trying to get trouble down in turn number 1. 2 cars involved, quite possibly Charlie Glucksbach and Junior Blankenship in car number 14. So it looks like there's a problem down in turn number 1. Barry Boone, did you see any part of that accident?
When I looked up, what I saw was an airborne Charlie Glucksbach as the 14 of Junior Blankenship had gotten into the fence there up in turn 1. Glucksbach with nowhere to go launched right over the hood of the car. And I tell you, for you listeners at home, we wish you were here with us at Louisville Motor Speedway for the inaugural running here, because we're seeing a super shootout in Midwest racing action.
We sure are, Barry, and I tell you what, for the 2nd time tonight, we've had a car go airborne here at Louisville Motor Speedway. This time it was charging Charlie Glucksbach, the rocket, you might say, out of Sellersburg, Indiana. His car got airborne as it climbed over the top of Junior Blankenship's machine. They were running around the 12th, 13th, 14th position on the field, and so it did not affect the running of the leaders. And right now we are awaiting confirmation from the LMS track officials, and yes, they are okay. So let's hear a nice round of applause for Charlie Glucksbach and Junior Blankenship. They're uninjured.
And this caution comes
from the Midwest Racing Association. And once again, you can see the highlights and racing results on Store Cable Channel 10 at 4:30 on Wednesday evenings, and again at 11:30 on WKPC Channel 15. The field will get double stacked down in turn 3 and 4, set for the restart. For 27 laps into this one, Joe Williamson Sr. is the race leader.
They're running it up coming out of turn number 4. they head off through turns 1 and 2. Williamson back out in front, taking the lead that he held up until the caution flag. But Steve Webb not letting him get very far as Gardner pulls along inside there as well, and Metter stays back in 4th place.
That's a critical move for Keith Gardner to get around the inside of Larry Metters, much the same way Metters passed him on the inside. It looks like Chuck Winters, a shower of sparks out of the McDonald's number 8. We'll see if that continues this time down the front straightaway. No, it doesn't. It looks like Winters quite possibly got a piece of that outside retaining wall on the back stretch. The field continues to sort themselves out. We'll give you the running order. It's Joe Williamson is your race leader, the Copiers Plus Racing Chevrolet. It'll be the John Jones GM-City-sponsored Chevy Lumina in second of Steve Webb. The Barley Ford Thunderbird, car number 98 of Keith Gardner, runs at third. The 69, the Ohio Valley Tire Company, Martin Landscaping Racing Lumina. And there's trouble going down into turns 3 and 4 as it looks like the back half of the field is collected as they spin around in the 3rd and 4th turn. Chuck Winters was one of the cars that had spun, along with Rick Irwin, and then Roland Isaacs, the 14 of Junior Blankenship, Curtis Teague, the 60 of Shannon Carroll, and the number 6 of David Stahl. We didn't see what set off all that, but nonetheless, the red flag came out, Dean.
Indeed,
It is in the 6th or 7th place spot before that altercation. 30 are complete. The field comes out of turn number 4. Green flags back out here at Louisville Motor Speedway. Steve Webb and Joe Williamson made slight contact before entering turn number 1. Slowed Webb's momentum down a little bit, and now Gardner tries to come back to the inside of Webb. Webb returns the favor to Williamson, and they work out a 4.
Oh, a lot of rubbing, and Gardner's going to get the worst of it. He drops way back. He's 10th, 11th, 12th now, back in the field. Gardner, who was running in 3rd, finds himself getting caught up in the speed bumps. He drops back now to about 12th place position. That leaves Williamson out in front. Steve Webb running 2nd. Bill Kimmel Jr. now finds himself up in 3rd.
Bill got a little antsy that time in the turns 3 and 4. We saw the domino effect take Gardner clean out of the top 5. He's battling with Brian Baum. Touched him a little bit. Baum spins over in the 2nd turn. Gonna tell you what, we talk about a derby. Let's hope it's not a demolition derby, Harry.
Boy, I tell you what, I can understand exactly how he feels. You know, when the 69 car moved up just a little bit going into turn 3 and opened up the lane, boom. There he was, moved right in. Gardner had nowhere to go. They closed the door, almost turned the 98 machine around, and now he is apparently going down pit road as the 98, after running in the top 5 almost all night long, apparently has a flat tire on that machine.
Okay, he picked up the last 2 feature event victories here at Louisville Motor Speedway as well. Tough luck for Gardner here this evening, though. 35 laps in this event, and now Rick Irwin in car number 90 moves into the number 5 position, and he's coming through this field, Dean Taylor.
Rick Irwin's in desperate need of a featured victory. He has done so well last year in the sports division. This year, turning his attention to the late models only, and is continuing in that favorable tradition there, driving that racing late model now into the number 5 position. He is right behind Larry Metters, who is 4th. Bill Kimmel Jr. finds himself in 3rd place currently. Steve Webb is running 2nd, and out to about a 7th car length lead at the moment. And the Copiers Plus late model, the number 11 of Joe Williamson, is your race leader with 37 laps on the board.
Coming into the 1993 racing season, Bill Kimmel Jr. didn't have a sponsor on his car 1. Tonight he has added his 2nd sponsor, Ohio Valley Tire Company, to the quarter panels of his machine, and he's giving them a good ride here tonight at 3rd place on the field. Larry Metters is at 4th, and it's constantly challenging Kimmel for position as he intends to look to the outside. Harry Boone.
And currently running in 5th is the 90 machine of Rick Irwin, 34-year-old driver out of Louisville, Kentucky, in the banquet table buffet Chevrolet. We talked with him earlier, and the fans here at the Speedway got to hear that interview. He is one heads-up young driver with a lot of goals and a lot of confidence, and he's showing tonight that that confidence is very well grounded.
Less than 10 laps to go. Former NHRA drag racing 7-time champion Joe Williamson of Shively, Kentucky, the original troublemaker, shuffles off into turns 1 and 2. 41 complete here tonight. Brand new sponsor on his car, Copiers Plus, and I know he'd like to duplicate that feature event win he got here last year at Louisville Motor Speedway by winning the Derby Eve shootout here tonight at Louisville Motor Speedway.
You would not mind a fax from Victory Lane, that's for sure. As the Copiers Plus racing late model continues. He's about 4 car lengths ahead of Steve Webb there, running 2nd. Bill Kimmel Jr. back in 3rd. Larry Metters has got his hands full right now of the number 90 of Rick Irwin. Rick is trying to the inside. He's trying to the outside. Rick is wanting to get around that car, but now Rick is going to have to fight off the contention with Golden Arches, the number 8 of Chuck Winters going to work on the outside of Irwin.
Well, sometimes when you take a chance to gain a position, you can almost lose one, especially on a 3/8 mile racetrack. And right now, your predicament is right, Dean Taylor, as the Golden Arches try to come to the outside of the banquet table buffet, but the smorgasbord holds on to the spot there. However, President Ford now for St. Matthew's Imports tries to come to the inside of Irwin to battle back in 5th place. 45 complete. We're 5 away from a finish. And Joe Williamson, a fantastic racing family from right here in our own Kentucky area, is your race leader by 5 car lengths as they collect lap number 46, Dean.
All right, he looks like he's on a rail as he heads down the back straightaway, continuing to move undaunted. A little trouble there with Rick Irwin and Chuck Winters as they touch a little bit out of turn 2. They've regained the handle, though, coming across the start-finish line. Rick Irwin has still got 5th place position, but not by much, as Sergeant Chuck Winters right now is looking up to his name.
Okay, less than 3 to go, and Joe Williamson puts a little insurance between himself and the rest of the field, because Danny Stahl, a rookie contender in car number 6, lands between the race leader and 2nd place. We're less than 2 away from a finish. Very good. It's going to go in the record books here tonight for the Midwest Racing Association.
It's going to go in the record books as a barn burner, as with only 2 laps now remaining. Check that. Coming by this time, the flagman has the white flag in his hand, so we're on the last lap. Give the call to Dean Taylor.
Okay, white flags out. Irwin and Winters spin in turns 1 and 2. As they come into turns 3 and 4, it's car number 11, Joe Williamson Sr. of Chablis, Kentucky, who takes the victory in the Derby Eve Shootout, brought to you by Cellmates. Across the line in 2nd, it was car number 1, Steve Webb, and then finishing up in 3rd, another Clarksville, Indiana driver, car number 69, Bill Kimmel Jr. Larry Metters gets to the line at 4th, and rounding out the top 5, the number 12 of Preston Ford.
Preston just had to keep a cool head. I'm sorry, Frank, go right ahead.
That's okay. Joe Williamson taking one more lap to cool himself down as it looks like he has about ready to throw the towel in, it looks like, as he slows down into turns 1 and 2, collecting the first Midwest Racing Association event.
The 8 of Winters and the 90 of Irwin, I tell you, boys, that had to be a racing accident. That's all you could say over in turn 2. The 2 just racing hard for position, 1 lap to go. All the chips were down on the table. And by the way, race fans, don't go home. We've got